Ex-Trump doctor turned Representative Ronny Jackson has been demoted by the U.S. Navy for what they called inappropriate conduct while he was working in the White House. The two-term congressman was knocked down from retired admiral to captain after a pretty damning Pentagon Inspector General report. The demotion, of course, carries significant financial implications, not to mention, of course, social stigma among military circles. Not exactly a badge of honor to be knocked down in rank. So these financial penalties, basically the annual pension payment for a retired one-star admiral, as Jackson was when he retired back in December of 2019, is actually more than $15,000 higher than what a retired captain would draw. So as I said, significant penalties for what had to be significant inappropriate conduct. So what was that? Well, the Inspector General report claimed that Jackson had created a hostile work environment by berating subordinates and making sexual and denigrating statements towards a woman who worked under him. Along with that, he had taken Ambien combined with alcohol with subordinates while on duty, as the president's doctor reported the Washington Post. So that is not a good combination, taking Ambien with alcohol, and even worse, doing it while you're supposed to be on duty as the president's doctor. What if he had an actual medical emergency? I mean, is it going to be too high to do his job? That's one of the problems here. Now, according to a Navy spokesperson, Lieutenant Commander Joe Kiley, the substantiated allegations in the DODIG report investigation of Rear Admiral Lower Half Ronny Jackson are not in keeping with the standards of as the Navy requires of its leaders, and as such, the Secretary of the Navy took administrative action in July of 2022. Kiley declined to comment on Jackson's current rank or confirm his demotion, but the GOP congressman continues to refer to himself as retired Rear Admiral, as do the former president and other Republicans. Now, Catherine L. Kuzminski, a military policy expert at Center for a New American Security, said, "While it is possible that others will mistakenly refer to him as Admiral in perpetuity, he himself should not make that mistake." Well, he already is. He's not changing a damn thing. So now, Jackson had addressed this actually back in his memoir, okay, blaming the Biden administration, because of course he did. "If I had retired and not gotten into politics, this investigation would have never gone anywhere," Jackson writes. "This was happening because I'm a perceived threat to the Biden administration and because a few political appointees in the Department of Defense want to make a name for themselves." No, okay, yeah, sure.
Really?
Are you sure it's not the other way around? I mean, you know, you going after political figures? Look, Jackson retired from the military and left the White House back in 2019 to run for Congress. And he won, thanks to Trump backing him. He then won again in 2022, re-election. And what has he been doing since? He has been using his platform to attack President Joe Biden, his fitness for office. Hey, look, I was a White House doctor once, and so, you know, I know good health when I see it. And that Joe Biden, he's not in good health. Oh, okay, yeah. In fact, he'd been doing frequent TV appearances, news conferences, and public statements where he would go on to assess the 81-year-old Biden's mental and physical health. Now, I got to tell you, Joe Biden's old. I know, right? Woo, shocker, right? Whoa! No, but he is. So, of course, you're going to slow down a little bit in age, all right? That is going to happen. Is he unfit for office? Based on that, no, I don't believe so. That's it. I wouldn't trust anything that Ronny Jackson says. Why? Well, he's the guy that said that Trump is 100% mentally there after giving him a cognitive test. Now, remember, this test was like the mocap test. It's basically to test if you have dementia or not, okay? And so, this is the test that he claims I crushed this test. It was so easy. I mean, it was very difficult, actually, but turns out I'm just incredibly smart, all right? I'm
cognitively there. Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
I mean, okay. So that's that test, okay? I, again, wouldn't trust him on any of this stuff. Anybody who's watched Donald Trump knows that there's something wrong with him. I don't know what. There's something wrong with him. And yet, we're to believe that Ronny Jackson was investigated only due to politics. Right. Okay. No, according to the same IG report, there was a bigger problem than just Ronny Jackson. Turns out the Trump White House was awash in drugs. Yes, drugs. Sources told Rolling Stone that common pills included modafinil, Adderall, fentanyl, morphine, and ketamine, as well as unlisted drugs like Xanax. All of them equally easy to come by from the White House Medical Unit, which Ronny Jackson was the head of, according to sources that spoke with the magazine. At least 2 senior staffers would regularly mix the depressant with alcohol to deal with the stress of working with a highly erratic boss. Again, it's a potentially life-threatening combination, mixing Xanax and alcohol, or Ambien and alcohol. Not a good thing. Now, one source told Rolling Stone, quote, "You try working for him and not chasing pills with alcohol. Or you could, quit. You could find a different job." Okay, that was possible. But now sources also said that in-office pharmacists would unquestionably hand out highly addictive substances to staffers who needed pick-me-ups or energy boosts. No doctor's exam, referral, or prescription required. It's just handing out pills. It's a pill mill. Go ahead, guys. Have at her. Another source said, it's kind of like the Wild West. Those things were pretty loose. Whatever someone needs, we were going to fill this. Wow. Wow. Now, another said, is it being done appropriately or legally all the time? No. But are they going to get to that end result the bosses want? Yeah. That staffer referred to the high demands of the office. Oh, definitely high demands. Somebody getting high. Now, at the same time, these pharmacists, I mean, they're the ones that are dispensing these pills, right? I mean, shouldn't the fault lie with them? Yes and no. These pharmacists do claim that, hey, look, we were pressured. We were told that we were afraid that we were going to be fired if we spoke out, or if we, even didn't hand the pills over, or we could receive, negative work assignments. Basically, our jobs are on the line. We didn't give them what we want, or what they wanted, which was the drugs. Just give us the drugs, and everything will be fine. That's the environment that Ronny Jackson had operated in. And by the way, the fish rots from the head down, right? That's the old saying. Ultimately, the environment fostered by Donald Trump, who has been accused of snorting all sorts of things, whether it be Adderall or Coke, whatever, right? Again, these allegations, I don't have any evidence of it, but the way that this White House had operated with all these drugs being handed out, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump did a little, few lines of something. I mean, no wonder, he's got big energy, right? You gotta wonder where that energy came from. It's not from exercise. Okay. No, the guy was probably on something along with the rest of the staff. They're probably all just, high out of their minds on speed or whatever drugs that they could get their hands on. And of course, a lot of that is thanks to people like Ronny Jackson, who allowed this to happen.